Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So I figured we would talk about some funds that we haven't discussed too often on here that do get a lot of mentions and a lot of requests. Primarily SPYI and KLIP. I figured we'd discuss both of those because both are wildly popular, but haven't been discussed too much on here. I did a video on SPYI a couple months ago and started actually getting views, kind of taking off again. So we'll go over both today and then see where the rest of the discussion takes us. So I will start out, I guess, with Yahoo. And I might go to that other site, but let's just get started with this. So, all right. Hope everybody's day is going well. And let's see. All right, share screen. It'll be hard to top the entertainment value of yesterday's stream, but we'll do our best. So, okay. Yahoo Finance, SPYI. And I got a big fat Amex advertisement in the middle. And most of you that know me know that I would never touch Amex again. So, all right, so SPYI, this is the NEOS S&P 500 high income ETF. So let's delve in and figure out why it's so popular amongst you all. First, let's look at the max history of it. It's fairly new. It goes back to 2022, basically. So it's been pretty much flat too, because it started at like 49.13 when it debuted. And it's, let's see, dropped all the way down to 44.61, dropped there. And then came back, but definitely fluctuated over time, 45.66 there. And so, yeah, we're at 49.26, 49.49 in the after hours. Year to date, we are up about $3.24. So year to date total return 12.52%. But obviously, most of you on this channel that follow this one are following it for the dividend. So let's go look at that. And let's check comments here real quick. I had this up, but it didn't save, so I had to kind of refresh it. So there were none of you were like waiting. Oh, Damon Riddell's first one on deck tonight. Hello. And Hoffman is on. Damon, what are you working on for this week with PPI, CPI, and FOMC? You let us know. You know, we need to talk more about all those macroeconomic terms on here. I think the Fed announcement's coming up next week. But anyway, all right, back to this one. And you all can comment, because a lot of you on here have mentioned SPYI, so you can also comment why you're so enthralled with this fund. All right, back to Yahoo. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we're going to look at dividends only. And here we go. So since last September, it's been paying pretty consistent dividend every month. September, October, November, December. It looks like January missed, but February, March, April, and May. 48.7 in May. We should be due for one in the next couple of weeks here. But so far we got 48, 46, 47, 46, 47, 46, 48. Okay, and then we've got about 8 months of dividend history, so divided by 8. So we're averaging about 47.45 times 12. Now this isn't going to be too high of a yield. So this is 569 divided by 49.26. So it's about 11.5% yield. So I'm not sure what gets you guys all enthralled with this fund, because it's an average dividend, but the fund, I guess it's stayed pretty much flat over this time. So net asset value has it pretty much fairly valued. Expense ratio is not as high as I've seen. So that's really, in a nutshell, that's what I see with SPYI. Let me know if I'm missing anything on it. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Oh, the engineer is on with something. Let's see. SPYI is attractive because a significant portion of their dividends are treated as long-term capital gains. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And unlike most covered call ETFs, they also buy out of the money calls to help NAV gain. Oh, good to know. How did you find all of this out? FOMC. That was FOMC. All right, so we got one of the three that you mentioned. So we've got CPI and PPI coming soon. Use Seeking Alpha, compare the funds versus each other like SPYI, JEPI, and SPY for total returns. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll try to log back on there. Denny Keaton's on, says howdy, welcome. Okay, so there's SPYI. So we got a good comment here from the engineer. That is one of the main draws to it. The taxation. Dividends are treated as long-term capital gains. So that definitely makes a difference. All right, good to know. Now we'll look at KLIP. So let's see here. And probably won't go too long this evening. I know I've been going about an hour, so we'll see how we do. I mean, if we get to having a lot of fun here, I may go that long, but I'll try to keep it to 30 minutes or so. All right. Let's see. KLIP. CraneShares China Internet and Covered Call Strategy ETF. And a lot of you love this one. I get so many comments about it. So let's go into it. Expense ratio 0.95%. Net asset value, it's about 10 cents overvalued, but relatively fairly valued if you base it on that. Let's see how long this one's been around, since the beginning of the year. Now, I have looked at this one before, and remember what I saw. Basically, for every dollar that the fund appreciates or depreciates in value, you're getting $1 dividend. So it's like a wash. But some of you that are buying in towards the bottom disagree. Some of you that bought in here. And this may be a good buying point for this. We'll see what it does, but I don't really know what it's going to do. But yeah, since the beginning of the year, you can see we're down from 24.67 to 19.50. So that's the thing. It does pay a solid dividend, but what I had concluded on this before is that basically for every $1 dividend that it pays out, it's dropping $1. So it's like a wash. So, okay. Let's look at dividends only. And let's see, come on. I gotta pick it twice, I guess. Dividends only. All right. Okay, so we had 56 cents in January, $1.16, $1.09, $1.03, and then 86 cents in May. So let's see, 56, 116, 098, 33. Okay, divide this by 5. We're averaging 94 cents a month times 12. 1131 divided by 1950. 58%. That's why a lot of you were in love with this fund. 58% yield. I mean, I get the appeal. Actually, I need to put that in the thumbnail when I do a thumbnail. Should I do a thumbnail? I didn't do a thumbnail yesterday. All right, let's see. Oh, and there's that number 26 again in the after hours. We're up 26%. Okay. Oh, 16 of you on. KLIP is only up 3% year-to-date total returns. I actually don't see it up at all. You're factoring in total returns. Okay. Okay. So yeah, with the dividend, well, what I calculate here, I still, and I did this before, but I'll do it again. Let's see, KLIP. Okay. So we started the year, we're down about 21% in real return based on, if you look at the chart, factoring out the dividends, 20.97%. We started the year at 24.67. We're at 19.50, right? Okay, so here's what you're going to see real quick here. 24.67 minus 19.50 is 517. That exceeds what the dividends paid out. We just said the dividends paid 471. 517 minus 471 is a loss of 46 cents. So it would be down unless you're factoring in compounding or calculating things another way. Okay, read the prospectus on KLIP. Very interesting. Oh, I have to actually read. I don't want to do that. That's overrated. They own the Queb fund that they sell the covered call on. Covered call is on. Queb fund, okay. why am I, these ads on Yahoo, it's like, what the hell is this? All right, anyway, engineer's comment. SPYI pays 60% long-term capital and 40% short-term capital for tax purposes. So its tax efficiency is one of its major draws. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that in your last comment. It would do well when coupled with yield max short-term gains. Yeah, if you're going to add to, like, if you're going to create a balanced portfolio of dividend returning funds, right? So yeah, so 60% long-term capital, 40% short-term. That's like how options are taxed too, I think. Or it's like 80-20 or something. So it's tax efficiency one of major flaw, major draw. Yeah. So I agree with that. Good comment. All right. Reinvesting dividends each month is total returns. Okay, if you're factoring in reinvestment. Okay, well, I'll take your word for it on the 3%. Same guy running SPY as same guy who was running NUSI. Yeah, you pointed that out before. Someone pointed that out before. So yeah, but who knows? Mikey T is on. I picked up a pizza at Domino's pickup window. Oh, good for you. Cost was $7. Handed over $10. She asked if I wanted the change. How do you feel about this? Well, that's kind of a random question. Hold on a second. I'll answer that.
What is that? This is not a curse. It's a black demon. You will not take my family away.
Yahoo got me again. Ah, now it's going to make me go to the site. Darn it. Sorry about this. Give me a second here. Apple TV. No, I had Apple TV free for like a year. There wasn't anything on it when I had it free either. Give me a second here. Let me close this out. Oh, another shark movie? Like, we need more of those. Okay. This is a funny question. I like this one. So you're gonna get me into some funny stories here, which I know you all love. So let me ask you this first. Without knowing me, would you assume I'm a good tipper or a bad tipper? Just take a guess. I want at least one of you to comment in the comments before I answer this. Do you think I'm a good tipper or a bad tipper? So I'll give a few seconds for that. Maybe play some elevator music or some Jeopardy music. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. But I need someone to answer. Just, do you think I'm a good tipper or a bad tipper? Okay, so you said 20%. 20% is pretty good. Exactly 15. I like your thinking. That means I'm a bad tipper, right? So here is the way. Let's see here. I would guess you tip based on the quality of service, not the cost of the meal. You're exactly right, engineer. So, all right, this is going to be fun. So there's been times that I've, oh, well, Tatiana thinks I'm a good tipper. So maybe I have to hold back my stories now. It depends. I'll say, just like an economist says, it depends. So there's been times, all right, I've been a great tipper, and there's probably been times I've left 0. If something's really bad, like really, really unacceptable, they get 0. You know, it's like a performance game, right? Now, if they're really good, of course, I tip 25% then. So, wow, you all listen so well. It's amazing to me. You guys, I've got to really pay attention when I ramble, because you all listen really well. I know, Hoffman, you want to keep talking about these funds all the time, but we got to have some fun on here. We got to keep, you know, the audience is growing. So as the audience grows, it's not just like hardcore financial people on here, which, I mean, I am and you are, but, you know, we got to have some fun on here. But we will. I guess you're right. To stay on topic, I do need to cover SVOL next, but let me just tell some of these tip stories. So, yeah, if they're really good, I'll tip them like 20%. But as far as what he said, and I like this example, it's almost perfect, because I've had this happen a lot. When you go to pick up a pizza, and when they're just handing you a pizza, I don't think that's a tippable transaction, honestly. So hopefully that doesn't offend or surprise any of you all. But if you're going there, driving there. Now, here's the thing. You mentioned Domino's, okay? So Domino's has a program where they actually give you like a reward because if you're actually going there in your own car to pick up the pizza, instead of having them deliver it, if you think about it, it's like, you're saving money and like you're doing like the way they're looking at it, it's like the self checkouts in stores. It's like you're kind of doing their job for them. So it's like, here's a tip for picking up the pizza, right? So they give you points towards the next pizza when you do that. So I like that program. But yeah, my answer would be on that one. I would say, yeah, of course I want the change. Of course, I usually pay with a credit card anyway, but I don't think that when someone hands you a pizza, that's not really a tippable transaction. So, like I say, if the service is average, 15%. If the service is really good, above and beyond, 20%, or more possibly. So that's how I look at things. Okay. Oh, missed a good comment here. Options are always taxed based on if you held them more or less than a year, just like most other assets. Futures, however, are taxed at 60/40, so you can day trade them and still pay low taxes. Okay, engineer, here's an opportunity for you to coach me. So I want to learn futures. What's the best site to go? I started taking Ameritrade's futures courses, but I don't really even know how to start. I do know when you see like the /ES, that's like the S&P futures. So I have some basic knowledge, so I can talk shop. Like I met someone that was into futures trading at a bar or something, and I was able to have a conversation at least. But I want to learn. I said, oh yeah, that /ES, that's the S&P 500. Like when you see that flash on the bottom of Bloomberg. But I definitely want to learn more about that. So recommend some sites to me that I can go to for free, of course. I'm a financial person. I mean, who wants to pay for that, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. I would assume Charlie. I knew we were going to get back into this again. I got to read this one out loud without breaking out laughing. I would assume that Charlie Munger is a great kisser right after he gulped down a big cup of custard. Well, I wouldn't know. Maybe Tatiana knows. Good. Yeah, we addressed that one. Yep, I did say that yesterday. Are we playing a game of just the tip? Okay, we had the tip discussion. We'll get back on topic soon. But it was pick up, literally. You're exactly right. You sound just like me. Literally handing you a pizza. They're doing this. You want $3 for that? I'll take $3 for this. There, I'll do this all day. 3, 6, 9. Oh, just made $9 just for doing that. That's easy money, right? And some of these people want to be paid like $20 an hour for doing that. You know what I say? Another thing too, like a lot of these drive-throughs, and I actually wrote a review on one of them. I'll give you an example. So I like In-N-Out Burger, but there's no In-N-Out Burgers in Florida. So Steak and Shake's like one of the closest things we have. Like they have really good burgers and stuff, in my opinion. But the staff it sucks. So I actually wrote in and I said, you all need to just have like robots run the place instead of people, because unfortunately the people that work at these places are morons. They don't know, and they have these kiosks now, and they have this app, and no one knows how to work it, and the staff that they're hiring and stuff is just not cutting it. So, and these people want to be paid like $20 an hour. I say Elon Musk needs to just find a way to have robots run the place. That's what I say. And then you don't have to worry about tipping. That's the added bonus, right? So, all right, let's see now. So yeah, I agree 100%. What about a coffee at a Starbucks? Honestly, I would assume with their prices, I would assume the tip is included. Like if somebody asked for a tip, I'd be like, how dare you? Like I'm paying like $7 for a cup of coffee. Isn't your part of your salary like included in the wage? I mean, in the price of the cup? Because I mean, they're outrageously overpriced if you ask me. And there's lines out the door every day. So Hoffman, I hate it when the window hag begs for a tip at the Starbucks drive-thru. The window hag, I haven't heard that one before. Usually they're younger, right? I haven't seen them hire any like window hags. But I've never had one ask for a tip now that I think about it. So yes, we agree. I round up. Sometimes I round up, sometimes I round down. It depends. All right, so we're all caught up in comments. So I think I owe you all another fund, SVOL, right? Speaking of tips, the online form of tipping is super chat. So, and that button works, of course. But anyway, all right. Oh, James Store showed up. Tip a Waffle House waitress $100. Oh, no, 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 no. I would not want to give a Waffle House waitress wrong ideas. It's like a Denny's waitress. I'm gonna say something here, and no offense to anybody, but like some of these Denny's waitresses are like missing teeth and whatnot. No offense to anybody if they're missing teeth, okay? But I would not tip a waitress. That would give the wrong idea, you know? So no, 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 no. I would probably stick to 15% on purpose in those types of places. I don't even really go to a Waffle House, but you know, it's funny story. One of the hurricanes we had here knocked off like the W from the, you know how the Waffle House is like the squares. So the W fell off, and guess what it said? It said Awful House, AFFLE, and then house because the W fell off. So it actually said Awful House. But the funny thing, during COVID, those were the only places that were open like 24/7. So it's like, oh God, we have to go. If you're out late, you got to go to Waffle House. It's like the only place open. Even Denny's wasn't open. And places now, even since COVID, like nothing's open late anymore, it seems like. What if you identify as a Denny's waitress? Well, then I don't know. I may have to tip. I don't know. I'll probably still stick to 15%. But it's true. You know, it all depends on how we identify, right? So anyway, I don't know. If you super chatted me, I might be inclined to tip more if you identify as a waitress. Anyway, fun discussion, really fun discussion. I knew we'd have some fun on here. So, all right, back to SVOL. Good discussion on tipping, by the way. Tipping is an important part of finances. You know, it's important. It's an important part of your dining out budget for sure. But you know what? I would say I don't like it when people expect it. Like a tip, I heard someone say this, like a tip is a reward for good service. It's not an entitlement. It's not something to be expected necessarily. So, and the thing is, like to Tatiana's point, like a lot of these places, you know, the pretty ladies, like being nice is part of their job anyway. So tipping them extra isn't necessarily gonna, you know, just because they're nice to you doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get anywhere, so to speak. Oh, we've got Clement Yap is on. Good evening. Welcome. We're just having a fun discussion about tipping. All right, back to SVOL. Let's go back here to the screen share. Let's see here. Now we're getting heart attack ads on Yahoo Finance because yesterday we were talking about Charlie Munger, one of these ladies giving Charlie Munger a heart attack. Oh, I'll get to this comment in a second here. Let me get the screen share going. All right. SVOL. SVOL stays pretty steady. By the way, I did check out, what's his name, UWI. I checked out his video on going to New York. And he started out, he was in some park or some courtyard in New York. And he was talking about whether he should buy REITs or not. And then he segued into like his account and whatnot, which he's up to like 120,000 in dividends, which is impressive. So funny thing, like if I put 100,000 in TSLY, then I could get 80,000 in dividends, which at this point, if it held steady, that's very tempting. That's like your year salary right there. But who knows whether it will stay the same or not. You know, we've already seen it fluctuate. So Cash Hawkins, well, I would expect you to be a good tipper with a name like Cash Hawkins. You tipped $20 today. She was a go-getter. Well, how much was your bill? I'd hope the bill was at least $100. I tip good anytime I go out. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably 90% of the time I tip fairly. All right, now we got back to serious comments now. Futures trading is terrifying, unlike most other securities. When it all goes wrong, you don't just blow up your account. They will come take your house. Well, that can, you know, I almost wonder sometimes if that can happen with options, because what I did with Mercado Libre last year, like if they liquidate your account, you know, like I said, you could be betting the whole farm, the whole everything. You know, you've got to cover whatever they. You've got to be able to cover whatever positions you've gotten into, however leveraged they are. So it's kind of the same with options. So when it all goes wrong, you don't just blow up your account. They will come take your house, use stops or hedge, or don't play at all. Interesting. So it's a pretty high stakes game. All right. So your bill was $82. I wonder where you went. Where'd you go? You'll have to tell us. 82. Let's see. We got to figure this out here. 24%. That's a pretty good tip. You know what I'd probably do like that, just with my OCD, I'd probably tip like 16 to make it an even 100. Let's see. 16 divided by 84. That's still 19%. My favorite is you go somewhere and you get just like one drink. And it's like, well, what do you do with that? If the drink's like $7, you tip $1. If you tip $1, it's still a fair tip, but it seems like $1 kind of, low. Or micros/MES. They didn't take food stamps, so I used J money. Oh, yield max funds. There you go. Use yield max funds for your tipping. That's always good. Funny thing is, lately, whenever I feel a little stress, I also feel like putting a lot of funds in these stocks. Really? Sometimes people feel the opposite. THIA food. What kind of food is that? You mean Thai food? Thea food in Quincy, Illinois. Is that where you're from? Illinois, Chicago area? Well, that's cool. You know, one thing, back to the pizza example, I have noticed when I don't tip, even though they're just doing this, handing you the pizza, a lot of times it's not made as well the next time. So sometimes like at a Papa John's, like a lot of the local sports teams here, you get 50% off. This is another trick, by the way. I did a short clip on this like a year and a half ago. 50% rate of return in 30 seconds or less. So you go order a pizza, you type in, like if the Rays win, Rays 6, they score 6 runs, or the Lightning, they have the Bolts W, and you get 50% off the pizza. But you order it and they don't want to put you want like extra sauce and stuff on it, and they don't want to put it on, so they gyp you sometimes. But anyway, all right, I knew Big Lance would have some pro tips for tipping on drinks, just what we were waiting for. Rule of thumb is $1 for drink if you're getting only a few. Okay. ES, that's the S&P. So do you trade futures also? ES is $50 per point on the S&P. The micro MES is only $5 per point. Well, you're over my head. I'm not sure. I got to learn futures. Any type of drink. Okay, good to know. Thanks for the tips. I'll write them down. I'm not in the Windy City, wishing I was in the Bikini State like you. Well, people are coming to Florida all the time, especially from the north and the northeast. We've got a ton of people. And I'll tell you, people that move here, people that move to our state from out of state, they enjoy things a lot more. Like I noticed people that have lived here their whole life, they don't do things as much. But people from out of state, it's almost cooler when you meet people from out of state, because it's like you can kind of have the same experiences that you've already had, but with new people. So it almost makes it new again. So people from out of state come here, and I would say they appreciate the state much more. So, but for those of us natives, we're not always fond of people coming here, and we just don't want things changed, because there's a reason why we have a good state, and there's a sign, it should be like at the state line, that says, okay, you left there for a reason, don't bring there here, basically. So yeah, Florida's definitely humming, just like Texas. Lots of people coming to both of those states. Okay, SVOL. Without further ado, SVOL. All right, come on. But let me know if there's any good like portal or site to learn futures. I did start taking the self-paced course from Ameritrade, but didn't finish it. All right, so SVOL is at 22.83, 17.52% yield. We were up 4 cents or 0.18% yesterday. We're down 15 cents in the after hours to 22.68. And dividend yield is holding pretty steady, but it looks like we've slightly jumped up here. If you look from May 25th, we've actually jumped up like $1. And this is typically a stable, it doesn't move too much. So check that. So that's why the dividends fluctuated a little. But overall, this is one of the most stable dividends to be had, if you think about it. So, and we'll look at the history here. And then what I'll try to do as bonus, I'll try to go to Seeking Alpha. Let's see if I can log on again. And oh, look at that. I got a Red Bull advertisement. That's one of the worst energy drinks I've ever had. They used to give them out.
Hold up. I'm supposed to ferry out to the rig from here?
They used to give them out for free when I was in college for my undergrad. And I actually, one was so bad, I just set it down. I took a sip and just set it down. Okay. Let's see now. Dividends only. So we're typically at 32 cents, except in December, we had like 3 more cents higher. But otherwise, it's one of the most stable, steady dividends that you're going to find. All right, let me get off of here and let's see here. I got a random question for you all, and I wonder, the engineer might know this one. How does the algorithm work when it comes to getting ads? Like whether you're on Facebook or other sites, is it because of stuff that you search? Is it stuff you talk about? Is it stuff that your friends search? I'm just wondering. I know I got a lot of smart people on here. So how exactly does the algorithm work? Because I've noticed on social media, like on Facebook, I'll start getting an ad for something. And I'm like, why did I get an ad for that? And then all of a sudden, like I might click on it just to see what it is. And then I start getting bombarded with ads. So is it that you click on it so that like the algorithm thinks that you want to see more of that and it starts like bombarding you with it? Because I don't know how it works. Sometimes it's like really strange. Because like Facebook's been driving me nuts lately with stuff like that. Like I've been getting ads for like rings and jewelry and stuff like that. Like I know we were talking about 2 of the ladies on here marrying Charlie Munger yesterday, but I can't figure out why it's like, and I click it because I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. And then all of a sudden I'm getting bombarded with it. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I don't really want to see this. And then I start wondering, I'm like, is it ads like for a friend or something? Like is somebody, and then you start, if you have an overactive mind, which a lot of us finance people do, your mind starts running overtime. And then you're like, all right, who's looking this stuff up? Why am I getting this? Because it's not me. And it's like, all right, is somebody not telling me something? What's going on here? And it's like, it'll make you crazy almost. But anyway, all right, Tatiana knows. Search, talk, and think. Oh, so it reads your mind too. Oh, that's great. That's just what we need. Context NOP. Who are you? You're new. Good evening, everyone. I hope you subscribed. Context NOP. What is that? That's a kind of an intriguing name. Trade Brigade Futures for Beginners. Okay, I'll take note of that. Just like I say I'll do with the questions you all want me to ask Jay, right? SVOL is killing it. I'm looking at a lot of tickers, and SVOL is crushing. Now those, I'd be more okay with those. I do get some of those. But a lot of those sites you have to pay for. So it's like, geez, I signed up. Like there's one called Elite Singles, but it's ridiculous what they charge. And then you don't want to join these and meet like crazy people that are on there for a reason, But yeah, some of these, like before you start getting ads for like the wedding rings and stuff like that, you should get ads for dating sites at least. Wouldn't you agree? Stuff like that. All of a sudden you start getting ads for wedding rings and then like baby ads and stuff like that. What is going on? Is there a friend not telling me something? Anyway, all right. What else? What else do we want to talk about here? We talked about futures briefly. So if anyone wants to learn futures, they can go here. We're about to hit 30 live viewers. We need Context NOP to confirm that he subscribed. The sub count is really going up. Let's see. Yahoo Finance open on my Mac. I'll let you know if I get an ad. Yeah, right, because we're talking about it. Oh, Seeking Alpha. Thank you, Hoffman, for keeping me on task. I need you. You and Varden are supposed to be like my secretaries. So keep me on point. Okay, let's see. Oh, 1718. So we did jump up by 1. We're about to hit 1.72. We're rolling here for only being like 10 days into June. Oh, thank you. Did you just do that? You could almost be number. We're about to hit another milestone, 1720. Oh, haven't seen you on in a while. Oh, but you just said you're always on. You just don't always comment. Don't always comment, but always watch. Still enjoying these discussions. It took me a while to figure out that harvesting meant tax loss harvesting. Any unique ways people use it? Well, what I know about tax loss harvesting, towards the end of the year, people, they're starting to look at their tax ramifications of their investment activity for the year. And then so they say, okay, basically I could dump a lot of like garbage positions and reduce my tax burden. So that's, I think in November and December, you have a lot of tax loss harvesting, right? Wow, we jumped up here. We're 36 live viewers. Let's keep it going. Pretty good here. All you financial fans on a Saturday night. Amazon Yield Max. I think that's the next one coming. Okay, engineer. I use Vivaldi as my browser and stopped experiencing most of those ads. Well, yeah, I think Google is like the worst one to use, but you kind of have to use it for YouTube, right? But I still get ads for AutoCAD software when I log in to StockTwit. So obviously someone is tracking my cookies. Yeah, some of these ads will, like I say, if you have an overactive mind, some of these ads will just drive you nuts. It's like, why? You're trying to figure out, why am I getting these ads? Like, what? Because I think the algorithm's a combination of all those things. It's a combination of what you talk about, what you search for, what people around you talk about and search for. So that's what I think is going on with that. Context NOP, haha, I've been sub for a few days now, just dropped 25K in TSLY. Nice, good for you. That should yield you some maximum returns, no pun intended. That should yield you, let's see here. I was trying to just, basically 80% of 25. If it holds, that's like 20,000 a month. If you got in, did you get in before the ex-dividend date? Why didn't I do that in my head? But 20 is 80% of 25. It's easy. Why didn't I do that in my head? All right. Okay. Hello from Naples, Florida. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, I took attendance at the beginning of class and I noticed you were late, so I've got you on the tardy list. You learn better when you're on time. Sometimes I'm late though, so what can I say? I can't really talk. Just missed it. I'm sorry. I meant annually. No. Wait a second. Am I right or wrong? 25,000 divided by. Wait. You put in, what is it? $16 now. 8. I'm sorry. I got excited. I probably just got you excited there too. All right, 25,000. I'm just doing like 80%. I just did that like really quick. 25. Hold on a second here. 25,000. This is what happens. My energy drink is making my head go faster than, like, I'm speaking before I fully think. All right, 25,000. What's TSLY? $16. That's 1,563 shares approximately, and then 80-cent payout on that is $12.50 a month. So that would be 15,000 per year. Oh yeah, you missed a lot of entertainment, a lot of fun discussions about tipping. We talked about some other funds. Got some new subscribers, and yeah, having a lot of fun on here. June 9th, I put in. Oh, so you had to be in by like the 6th. $12.50 per month. I knew James Storr would show up and set us straight. So thank you for that. Okay. All right. Oh, what was it? Seeking Alpha. Let's see if I can actually log in. Got to watch the replay. Hey, that's fine. Watch it as often as you need to. All right. Seeking Alpha. Let's see. Oh, how did I log on before? I've already forgotten. I just want the free stuff. By the way, engineer, have they published any more of your articles on there? I haven't heard you talk about any in a while. So, all right, let's go here. Share screen. Okay. Okay, so what did we want to do here? Hoffman, we wanted to do like a side-by-side comparison. SPYI. I did something like this before. Okay, advanced maybe. And then add in other ones. Oh, create portfolio. Here we go. I don't want to name it. You know what drives me nuts? My E-Trade, it lets me, it used to let me do this, but it always resets the views. So I kept having to recreate the view on it, which is annoying. All right, SPYI, let me add now SVOL. And then let's see if this adds. I know there's a way to add on here. Let me see, check the comments here. Oh, go to charting, okay. All right, that's what we'll do. Okay, charting. Oh, here we go. Oh, I think I did this on here before, actually. So SPYI, we'll add them all. How about that? SPYI, KLIP, and then what was the other one? So we got 3 of them. We'll compare them to the S&P. By the way, that other channel, I noticed he claimed he's beating the NASDAQ too. Ooh, look at KLIP, all you KLIP fans. Which one's the outlier? Look at this in the green. It's in the green, but it should be red. Look at that. So look, the S&P, it's important to note, and total return here. Well, not total return. I guess this is calculating just the return. S&P is beating all of these, but we're getting good dividends on these. Let's add, I'm going to have some fun now that it's been a while since I've done this, but thank you, Hoffman, for pointing that out to me because I'll start doing this more again. Let's add TSLY now. Ooh, look at the wild swings here. But it did kind of catch up a couple of times, and it's coming back. It's outpacing KLIP. Let's add some more. Let's add OARK. All right, we'll add like 6 of them. Yeah, see, a lot of these are down here, you see. So there we go. There's our comparison. All right, so where are we? Okay. Pick any fund, go to charting, go to compare. Engineer Blake, I mostly evaluate utility and energy companies, emerging tech, and cannabis stonks. Oh, cannabis. Cannabis I thought was going to be a good investment a couple years ago, like when Tilray had its run up. But I don't know what's going on with it. I'm kind of surprised. Do you think cannabis is going to rebound eventually? Like if it were to be legalized on a national level, do you think that it would, like that all cannabis stocks would soar? Because I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing that. I mean, some cities you go to, like if you go to like the Denver airport, you'll get high as soon as the plane door opens. It's like, man, it's just the green is in the air, and I don't mean money. Same with parts of California too. UWI is mad. A lot of people are clicking off a few seconds into his videos. Do you experience that? Not at all. I have a great retention on here actually, but there must be some reason why people are doing that. I don't know. Maybe we could do a collab. Maybe you could talk to me about that. Exchange some ideas. Now switch to total returns. Okay, I'll do that next. Let's see. We can talk about hunting for multi-baggers later. I don't want to distract you too much from the ETF discussion until closer to the end of the stream. Okay. Well, it looks like you all are going to get me for an hour again, at least. But that's okay. I mean, if you don't distract me, everybody else is. So, it's fine. We'll talk about other random stuff, tipping and whatnot. So, hang on a second here. All right, we'll go to that in a second here. Okay, back to this here. Just switching tabs here. All right, total. Oh, this is price return. There we go. Oh, perfect. Just click around a bit. Oh, how about this? Look at there. Look at here. You must be rolling your eyes, Hoffman. You're like, oh, when's he going to finally read this and do what I'm saying? Okay, SVOL is leading the pack. SVOL, SPYI, Tesla, all three outperforming the S&P 500. I stand corrected then. How about that? Let's go to year to date. Year to date. Let's see. Let's see. Look at look at TSLY year to date. That is crushing it. Wow, I'm starting to wish I'd put more into it. Interesting. Well, there we go. We got a good total return view there. Yeah, see, we get it eventually, right? Oh, had some more of you show up here, it looks like. Let's see here. Okay, we did that. Does that chart, see, the problem is I have one screen, so I have to keep coming back, circling back to the comments. Does that chart include drip? Does the total return include, does it factor in drip, Hoffman? Smoking the devil's lettuce. Haven't heard it referred to as that, actually. Also switch to either year to date. Oh, well, see, one step ahead of you now. Good questions, Big Lance. Do you think Aptly Divi will go up more? I'm worried because it had more than a month of option trading. I'd rather buy SVOL, pays more. What's your opinion? I like SVOL. I actually don't own Aptly yet, but the dividend was disappointing. I don't know if it's going to go up because Apple is not as volatile of a stock, but we'll see. But I'd probably lean towards SVOL. Engineer Blake, cannabis stocks are prone to euphoria-driven rallies. Is that after people are high? I had to make that joke. That don't care about fundamentals. Most of the sector is a dumpster fire. Only a few gems. It makes picking long-term winners rather easy. Yeah, there was a couple of them that were like flashes in the pan, for sure. All right, yes. See, it's hard to, like, the other channel we were talking about, he goes 10 minutes. There's no way I could do a live stream and go 10 minutes with all of you all, with all your good comments. It's like a show. Just all we're missing is the popcorn. Or maybe we're not missing it. All right, Andre Brown New World Order showed up here. I sold all my TLTW. Why would you do that? HYGW, LQDW, because I didn't like the downward sliding prices. Well, that's usually a good reason. But like they say, buy low, sell high. And just added to my SPYI, JEPI, and JPQ positions. SPYI will probably end up being the best CC ETF. You think so? Because, well, the tax ramifications that the engineer pointed out make it more appealing for sure. Anytime we talk about funds, you should pull this set up. I will. Thank you for the tip. He was whining about people leaving his channel. It was pathetic. What, did he just do that today? You shouldn't do stuff like that. I know, I talked about watch hours for a while, but suddenly that's no longer an issue. Since I've got like, at any given live stream, I get like 30 of you on watching live. And you think about it, you all we're going for an hour. So that's like 30 people watching for an hour. That's like 30 hours of watch time plus what it gets on the back end. So there's no issue. It's funny because, so as a YouTuber, you have to get 4,000 watch hours to stay monetized, right? So I was, I monetized May 2022. I was kind of like ahead of my time, really, because I had a couple videos blow up and then didn't really do much for like 10 months until March of this year. And then all of a sudden I started live streaming, started talking about these yield max funds, and it ended up being like really a godsend because I started getting tons of watch hours, and that's how I got all of you on here. And then all of a sudden in my last like 2 months, I got the watch hours I needed. And now it's no longer an issue because I'm getting like 1,400 watch hours a month, which is awesome. Like in 3 months, I'll hit my total that I need for the year. So really cool. Anyway, I might jump into Disney a few weeks after it gets kicked in the balls a bit more. How's that new release doing? That Little Mermaid? That's a blockbuster, right? And then they have an Indiana Jones coming out. They need to fire Kathleen Kennedy from Star Wars. I mean, well, from Lucasfilm. I mean, she's kind of run that into the ground, unfortunately. So I'll have 600 shares of Tesla by Friday, 100 shares shares of KLIP, 100 shares of NVDY, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, that's good. You keep changing your name. Did we figure out yet why you keep changing your name? It's funny. Okay, painful. Aptly, I'll have 50. I'll be living in Peru in less than 8 years. Is Peru like a cheaper cost of living country? Because I hear like Costa Rica is, and I hear people actually go to like Mexico and retire. Um, they retire like a lot. Like you can live on a lot less in some of these other countries. I saw you randomly mention some obscure product months ago, and 5 minutes later, it popped up on your screen share. If your microphone is on, it's inevitable these days. Interesting. Well, there's stuff I have popping up that I'm not looking up at all, and it's like, okay, what's strange, you know. Nice, Brevis. I'll drip 20% back into TSLY and then purchase NVDY with the remaining. As long as it's above a 20% yield, I'll be happy. I'm still in Disney. I'm actually in Disney too. Disney used to be a great company. We used to make a lot of really good stuff. Hoffman, sell calls on the way down. Okay, that's right. You talked about how good selling calls are. It's hard to get my 15K out of PayPal savings limits. Oh, that's right, because you have that expat thing going on, right? Yes, sir. I'm trolling a guy named Brevis currently. Oh, good. So you're a troll. Okay. 1200 at 89. What does that mean? 1200 what? Nice. Yeah, but should have dumped into TSLY. Nice context, same. Oh, Andor is the best Star Wars since the original trilogy. Really? Now I got to finish watching that. How long will it take me if I binge watch that? How long will it take me? I have to say, you're gonna get me on Star Wars now. I think of all the new stuff made, I thought Rogue One was the most like the originals. I thought that was very well done, and it leads like right into the original Episode 4. That was the best one. I love that movie. I actually own it on Blu-ray, and very much like the originals. But yeah, and I thought the Kenobi series was good too. It was a little bit of a stretch, I guess, but I actually thought it was pretty good, you know. Um, Otherwise, not a fan of the three they made, like the trilogy with the three. The first one was basically a remake of Episode 4. The second one and the third one, they had different directors and they just went off the rails. Um, and then some of the stuff they made in between, like The Mandalorian, I liked. It kind of fell off. Like season 1 was good, season 2 and 3 was kind of worse and worse. The Boba Fett one was okay, and I mean they've done a lot of stuff. I think the Clone Wars cartoon was all right, and then there's one they did between episodes 3 and 4 that was I've never watched it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm probably just never going to watch because they put out so much stuff. But Rogue One, I really liked Rogue One. Okay. Oh, and you make a really good point too. Part 2 of your comment. Kathleen Kennedy had zero creative influence in its making. Coincidence? They are going to reinstate the dividend. It would be back at 120. What? Are you talking about Zim? Are you talking about Zim? Agreed. Yeah. Andor is only 12 episodes. Okay. It has Waif from Game of Thrones. Oh yeah. And you know what's funny? The two twins or the two brothers, now they call them Dumb and Dumber, that wrote Game of Thrones. They were supposed to do a Star Wars series, but they like went into hiding after Game of Thrones ended. So 12 hours, watch till the sun comes up. It's tempting. There's actually a lot of stuff I have to do. I've got to get my resume brushed up. Actually, I might have another already, like 10 months in at my new company. I might have another role I might apply for. And I've got some other side businesses I have to attend to. I meant to do all that today, but I'm kind of becoming more of a night owl than a daytime person. But it's harder to sleep during the day, I'll say. By the way, who was Waif from Game of Thrones? I know Game of Thrones pretty well, but you're mentioning a character that I'm drawing a blank on. By the way, something else I wanted to show here for our two ladies in the audience that were in love with Charlie Munger. I just have to show this one here. I know he's not quite 100 yet, so if you both wanted to go older, I think I have just the gentleman for you. Speaking of Star Wars, here you go. The Emperor. If you wanted to go older than Charlie Munger, he would be your guy. Just wanted to show that real quick for our two biggest Charlie Munger fans in the audience. So there you go. I said that with a straight face for the most part. Okay. KBWD is a solid and steady ETF for your real estate portion of your portfolio. I thought my house was my real estate portion of my portfolio. I wish I could turn my house into some kind of a REIT or something. Let me see. Okay. KBWD. I love it. I get all these new fund ideas from you all. So this is Invesco KBW High Dividend Yield Financial ETF. By the way, I don't know if I should tell you all of this. Well, I guess I can. You all are my core fans. The people that tune in live are like the inner circle, so to speak. So it was brought to my attention that the UWI channel was around scouting out like REIT investments and actually showing up at the places. So I have an idea and I want to bounce it off all of you all because that's what I do first before I actually put something into production. So tomorrow I'm going to be at the, if any of you are in the Tampa area, I'm going to be near the big outlet malls that they have in Wesley Chapel now. And those happen to be owned by Simon Properties Group. So what I might do, I haven't done a short clip in a while of me just walking around and stuff, but I might actually walk around out there and say, hey, any chance this might be a good investment, the Simon Properties Group? And I actually hold some of their stock. So it's a REIT and it pays a dividend too, but I may do that. Let me know what you all think about that idea. Not that I'm trying to copy anybody. I just thought of like, oh, I'm going to be out there, production value, you know? So we'll see. So for the real estate portion, oh, you know what? I got to rambling and I forgot to look up the 12.29% dividend for KBWD. See, I just feel like there's so many of these funds to be had. I'm already getting basically 60% in the Tesla. Like, why do I need one of these? I'm not looking. I've got too many stocks as it is. What I need to do in $100,000 account, I want to consolidate. I want to put more into these higher paying dividend funds because if I could start to churn out that annual salary just on investing, I mean, that opens up a lot of doors, you know. KMX has a high premium, $73 put 2 weeks out, but its RSI is very high. It's ready for a pullback. KMX, I haven't heard of KMX. And you know, as you all know, if I haven't heard of something, that means it's crap. KMX. Oh, CarMax. Oh my God, I feel stupid that I just said that. I need to edit that out. I need to hire an editor. I didn't know KMX was the CarMax ticker. I know what CarMax is, obviously. I helped a relative get a car there. Dang, look at this chart. Look at that. You know what I wanted to invest in? You know the car vending machine, Carvana? There's like one right by me, actually. Look what this did. This had a crazy run up too, from 2018 to 2021. $73. It went all the way to $137 and then crashed down to $63.01. So you're saying high premium 73, put 2 weeks out. More trade ideas. I need to start. You know what we need to do, Damon? We really need to partner up and we need to get like a options group going because you're putting out some really good trade ideas. Okay. So yeah, we definitely want to get that going. Its RSI is very high. It's ready for a pullback. Okay. How do you, how did you learn all this? What's your best way of doing like technical analysis? I kind of want to pick your brain now. Okay, back to Game of Thrones. She taught Arya in the House of Black and White. Oh, was she the one that taught her how to be no one? Like when they said a girl is no one? I think I did see that actress in Andor. Well, that's interesting. You know what's funny? My whole theory, going on another side discussion here. My whole theory in Game of Thrones, a lot of people were disappointed the way season 8 ended, but I think Arya was able to kill the Night King because of that whole thing she learned about becoming no one. She was like invisible. So that's how she came out of nowhere and was able to do that. I think that all played in. So, all right. Context NOP. What does that mean, by the way, NOP? Like context_NOP. It's an interesting name. I have 25+ year time horizon until retirement. I'd assume none of these CC ETFs have a place in a Roth IRA. Why do you say that? I have some in mine. TSLY in a Roth IRA feels like cheating. Yeah, because you're not having to pay any tax on it, right? That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you're exercising in your picture there. You're doing like a handstand. That's cool. Well, that's good. I have TSLY in my Roth IRA, Matt. Oh, good for you. So what are you asking that question for then? You just said I assume none of these CCs. Oh, I see. You're assuming. You think you're second guessing yourself is what you're doing. It's like what I do when I see some of these ads that come up. SPG has a solid. Oh yeah, Simon Properties. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's solid. Yeah. Be careful. 8 stocks are propping up the market. You need to stay diversified. Which 8 are they? Let me take a guess. Is it Nvidia, Meta, Apple, Tesla? What are the others? Really? Carvana is a scam and will go bankrupt? Well, they had a run up, but it's appealing. It's one of those, like, I can see how it would appeal to younger people because it's like a vending machine for cars, you know. So anyway, all right, I'm caught up on comments again here. So what else here? What else? I want to get an options group going now. We got to work on that, Damon. I have to soon here. I've got to get this Discord. I've used Discord, but I'm not the best at it. But yeah, we definitely, I keep talking about it. We need to do it for sure. Need to get these things going. All right. Does anybody have anything else? Any last minute requests of the coach before I sign off? I'll give it a little time here. Had a good discussion here. We talked about tipping. We talked about, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, and all kinds of stuff, not just investing, which is good. That's what we come here for, not just investing, but all kinds of stuff, right? If you set up a Discord, I will be there. Well, now I have to do it. But yeah, that is the goal. So, all right, great participation, you all. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, what's this? Yeah, pretty much, haha, NOP stands for no operation. Okay. And, oh, you're a programmer. Okay, cool. Reverse engineering stuff. Well, thanks for the discussion. So you work like as a programmer? Or are you like I wonder if you're at like a big company or something. That's cool. I know a little bit about coding. I have a little bit of an IT background myself. I've mainly been in project management, and I've done some QA and whatnot. I was on some application development teams, but I've never actually written code other than for my class in MIS. But that's really cool. Good to know. So, all right, you all, thanks for tuning in again. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you on the flip side, and take care. Have a good rest of your weekend.